Folks, hello and welcome to Tavern Chat. I am your host, Rach Tenkar, your bartender in the OSR, I mean proprietor to Tenkar's Tavern blog, and I guess with me, as always, on Saturday night is none other than my lovely wife, Rachel.
Hello.
So, we got a few things to talk about today. Not the least of which, I don't know if you, this was up last week, I don't think it was. You can see our little Christmas tree right mid screen behind us.
All right. No, that wasn't up
Last Saturday.
No.
So, I don't know. There's so many things to talk about. Where did we talk about? Well,
We can go chronologically. So
okay.
we had our video last Saturday, and we had talked about how we ordered a treadmill, and so on Monday we got it, and my goodness, getting it upstairs.
Yeah. So, there were a couple of options. A shadow, welcome. There were a couple of options for delivery, and it was like free Amazon Prime. $10 to deliver it in the first dry part, which is my porch, so whatever. It would have been $20 for them to put it in the room where it was going to be used. And I was like, oh,
that would have been a good $20.
It would have been a good $20 spent. Oh my god,
your poor dad.
We had this is a 2-family home. We had to open up the box in my parents' living room, and then piece it upstairs. And then the main piece, basically the base and the engine, took me and my father. God bless the man. He's 78, 79.
Yeah, and in good shape.
In amazing shape. The two of us, step by step, to get it upstairs and then into the room. Assembly wasn't a bad deal, but it
assembly was pretty seamless.
Yeah. So, but that being said, flashing forward to, I don't know, 15 minutes ago when it just blew up a small, I don't know, little inflatable ball.
A little Pilates ball.
Yeah, because the girls, our niece and one of her good friends, are over, and of course they came over because they wanted to check out the treadmill. And I was like, you can't use the treadmill without supervision. And
which they were not impressed by.
It's like, but why? Because it's not a toy.
Because it's not a toy, and then there's like a ton of Christmas presents in that room.
Yeah.
And
they required supervision.
Yeah, it's kind of, I remember at that age, it was really tempting to see, what am I getting?
Oh, I used to crawl underneath beds and look for shit.
Oh, really?
Oh,
my sister was to the point where she would like unwrap stuff in my mom's closet. She would unwrap it.
Not fully unwrap it.
Oh my god! And then she would manipulate. She'd be like, "If you want to know," because like my mom was onto her, so like she found other hiding places for her stuff, and so when she found nothing, she'd be like, "Oh, Rachel, mommy got you this Barbies and that and this," and I'd be like, "Really? So tell me what did mommy get me?" Like, I didn't know what to do with myself. I knew it was a manipulation. I knew it was wrong to give up my mom's gifts. So I was like, you're getting a Matt Dillon quiz book. And she's like, really? I've been wanting that. And I'm like, great.
You're not going to get it. You're such an ass.
Where's my... She goes through her gifts like this morning, opening all her stuff. Where's my Matt Dillon quiz book?
Quiz book?
Yeah.
A Matt Dillon quiz book.
Matt Dillon quiz book.
I'm going to have to make fun of your sister at Christmas. For that. Oh, actually, no. You know what we're going to do?
Give her a Matt Dillon quiz book.
But, so, needless to say, even under supervision, the girls went from using it under supervision, that was fine, to, well, we just want to, toss things on top of the treadmill.
They were like, oh, we'll see how fast it really goes. So they put it to I don't know what they put it to.
6.5, 8, whatever the heck it goes
to. Okay, and so they, put I guess it was my wipes to wipe down the weights and the fitness stuff. And so they put that, and I'm like, oh, are you guys having an assembly line? And then Eric comes in, and he's like, I was like, the ball, they put the little Pilates ball on it, and I'm like, I don't think the ball really needs that much help to come down the little incline,
Yeah.
And
But
it's fun to keep throwing it.
But what they did was they caught it. It came down the end.
Under.
Well, it came down the end, bounced off one of their like feet, and then when sucked under, I was like,
oh my god!
It's gonna be the shortest little treadmill.
My favorite thing is going away.
So then the remains of the ball pop up, and I went off.
No way!
And I went, "You're done." Like, you're out of here.
And they were like looking puzzled. They're like, "Oh," their little faces.
Did I do that?
They're like, "We're sorry," kind of.
It's just like I didn't yell.
No, it's just like, all right, everybody out. Spot's closed. All loaded up. Everybody out.
Yo, 5-0's here, and it's done. It's done. Hi, Don. I hope. Oh, you want Tim? Tim. The only Tim that we know together is Tim Cass. So God bless you. Now, so we've kind of covered the experience of receiving the treadmill and the experience of nearly
losing our lovely new acquisition.
Losing it, yes. So here's it's called what's the Christmas song? It's cold outside or some shit.
Oh baby, it's cold outside.
How
does it go?
I don't. All I know. All we
really can't stay.
But here's the thing: it is cold outside, so you want to get your cardio in, your walks in. That has to be a hard cardio. A treadmill is awesome, and it's a good treadmill. It's solid, but again, it's like when you got kids on, Uncle, why do you have to? It's the second time they wanted to get on it. Why do you have to supervise? I go again. I told you, it's not a toy. It's exercise equipment. It must be. I go.
It's for people's health, so you treat it, not like a toy.
Right. So, I'm a bad supervisor.
I'm a bad supervisor.
I'm a bad supervisor. No, I'm out of practice, man. It's been, oh God, like 6 years since I've supervised, and it shows. God. So, Rach's got more time on the treadmill than I have. So Rach has been getting up to, I think, I believe the speeds in question are the miles per hour. So
I think that's true. I think that's how it goes.
So if you're doing 2.5, you're doing about 2.5 miles per hour. That's what I'm comfortable at. Rach has been doing 3.5, so God bless her.
I just made my way up to 3.5 the other day. Because I was starting and going up like by a few increments each time I was using it,
right.
And so I could see my heart rate go up. Like I'll get to at 3.5, or I was able to get up to like 137, and then I'd get it up there, and then I'd start to gradually bring it back because your heart's already up there and you're still doing some work.
Right, so you can kind of keep it in that range without necessarily putting out the same.
Yeah, and it's been a nice little calorie burn, and just good to like keep moving.
So that's been, but that meant that we had to find room for it.
Yes.
So I have a fairly good, fairly well honed ability to do spatial.
Yes.
Things. So 3.5 miles per hour is actually impressive. My overweight butt wouldn't be able to do that. Yeah, Don, I'm happy at 2.5.
Well, I'm trying to get to 4 because I guess I'm reading on their website like 4 is considered like moderate.
Rach.
I'm like, moderate to who? But
exactly.
I figure I'm not running. I don't want to run. Like that's not my intention. Power walk, yes, but run, no.
In the academy, I've
never known really how to run.
To get into the police academy, I had to do 1.5 miles in 15:25. To get out, I had to do 1.5 miles in 12:30. So I'd have to figure out how that calculates. But that's not obviously walking; that's jogging. So that's I'd have to figure out the calculation. It's probably something like 6 6 miles per hour, so probably there. So at least the part to get out, probably 4 to get in, 4.5 to get in. So yeah, we're going off topic, but so that was the big acquisition. That was our big Black Friday. Uh, we found what we wanted. We found what we needed. But then,
And it's interesting because walking outside, like an outdoor walk, is definitely different than like a treadmill walk. And
right.
yeah,
So that was Monday, but Sunday morning, and that's part of the
yeah.
reason why a lot of things. I'm not gonna say they went to shit last week, but the newsletters didn't get out because something had to give. And what gave is the newsletters because my parents got the phone call, I think around 8:30 in the morning, 8:45,
Yeah.
that my mother's cousin Carl, who my mother had power of attorney over, she was basically his guardian for
He'd
all
been
intents and purposes.
terminally ill for many years.
Yes.
Yeah.
He passed that morning. So it threw things for a loop and got all these notifications that got to be made,
Mm-hmm.
not just to family, but to the veterans, but to Social Security, all this other stuff, his pension plan.
Mm-hmm.
So you got, so my mother was
A
doing
lot of people to inform.
Yeah, and then family, you kind of have to do a game of telephone. You call the one person who can then call all their siblings and pass the word on. Because for one person or one family unit to handle all that, it's a bit it's heavy, and not just time wise, emotionally.
Right.
Every time you're telling somebody that a loved one has passed, you're kind of reliving it. And my mother was doing that.
Yeah, you're reliving it, and then you're also like trying to manage that other person's emotions around,
Right.
Like, and close it up like by the end of the call.
Yep.
It's
So these things. That was Sunday. We had the wake all day Tuesday.
Yeah.
From basically 1:30 to nearly 9.
9. Yeah.
And then we had the funeral on Wednesday where it was nice and rainy.
Yeah, it was very rainy, very windy.
I will
like
thank.
Umbrellas didn't really help.
Oh no, they were worthless. And I will thank the cemetery.
So it was very cinematic.
Yeah, the cemetery was nice enough to give me a screw in my tire. So.
Oh yeah.
Which we found out on Tuesday's doctor's appointment, and it was like
Thursday.
Thursday's doctor's appointment. We were like, "Hey, the tire light went on, the low tire pressure. Oh, look at that." How old was he? Carl was
92.
92. Yeah.
He just got 92 in August.
So my mother's side of the family is long lived. Now, here's the deal with my mother's side of the family. They are long lived. However, they run roughly 50-50 in the realm of Alzheimer's or other dementia, other types of mental breakdown as they get older. Some don't at all. And I've come to the conclusion that the ones that suffer from dementia and Alzheimer's and stuff are the ones that didn't eat healthy food. My grandmother was like that. She didn't like to eating food was a chore if it wasn't dessert, and that she'd eat everything.
Mm-hmm.
So Carl and his wife, I don't believe were eating that healthy. We know his sister who has dementia. She's
she was so far gone though, and we kind of really understood what was happening.
Right. But she never ate well.
Never before.
Never. Barbara never ate well. So you can kind of start drawing these now. And other members of the family, like Austin lived to 98. Like my mother's uncle lived to be 98, and he was with all his facilities until he was like 95, and then it started going down. And that's just age. So you got to figure, people that eat well.
Yeah.
Your diet is very important, and not just to your health now, but to your health later.
In the long term.
In the long term, when they talk about brain food, it's stuff that's going to keep your brain healthy longer.
Right.
You've got to like address it. So I mean, that was
And Loie cooks, and she
Yeah,
cooks like
my mother.
Balanced meals.
Yeah.
For them.
So it
It
again.
might be like a little extra meaty, but
reaching the red
balanced.
reaching the red
She
meat.
put a vegetable. She puts a starch. You
Yep.
know, she.
So that was the other main. I hate to say main event, but that was the other life event that happened.
Yeah.
That was kind of like not unexpected, but at the same time, the timing is always unexpected, right? I mean, you can know that a relative, in the case of Carl, I mean, I think the soul moved on about a half dozen years ago.
Yes.
But the body, and here's the remarkable thing: his wife passed.
Yeah, that was really interesting.
Oh, excuse me. How many years ago was it? 11?
No.
10? 10 years? 9?
9.
9 years.
2013, she passed
Okay.
away, 2 weeks after my mom.
She passed the day before Thanksgiving in 2013. In the morning, Carl passed.
Which was the 27th also.
Yeah. Carl passed exactly 9 years later to the day in the morning. So do you think that on some level he didn't know what day it was? I'm sure he did. Could it be a coincidence? Sure, we're all gamers.
Coincidence? I think
not. It's a 1 in 365 chance. Oh, but the morning on top of that. Well, then we'll say that it's an early morning. All right, so it's a 1 in 1,200 chance. Not very likely. So, yes, it could be a coincidence. I just thought it was pretty interesting that for that to be revealed. What was poking you in the back, Rachie?
I don't know. I just moved whatever.
Okay. Just checking. So now, aside from that, we had our doctors. We had one of our doctors.
Our orthopedic appointment on Thursday,
and that went very well. And I am going to be doing TRX.
Yeah, he said. Because he knows I do TRX, and he was like reviewing what I do. He's like, "You still doing the TRX?" I said, "Yeah." He's like, then he asked Eric, "You doing the TRX?" He's like, "No." I was like, and I didn't push it because I didn't know if it would be okay for him. With the
shoulder
stenosis there. And so he said, "Yeah, he can do sort of like the stretches. He can go light on it."
Yeah, I'm not looking to do strength training with it. I'm looking to stretch the muscles to gain range of motion.
Mm-hmm.
So with my left shoulder, it's stenosis. With my right shoulder,
and maybe
it's another
restarting
tightness.
the cars.
So we're gonna work on stuff. So it's kind of like starting the New Year's resolution early.
Yeah, why not?
So then to take it back,
certain things that I'm doing, you can do around the same time. Just I'll leave it up.
Yeah, I'll just need instructions.
Oh, of course. No.
Just dangle from the door that you look fine. I like the way. Look at that. Like Eric stretched.
Look, no, I would demonstrate for you first, and then you do it. And
you look like
we
a
see
Christ
which
figure.
ones. We see which ones are, ones that are comfortable and see where we can work toward.
Don't dislocate an arm or shoulder. Okay, that sounds good. So now to take things back a step, the previous week was Thanksgiving, right? Because we had Black Friday. And Thanksgiving morning is when I got to up my dosage on my
Mounjaro.
Thank you. It sounds like Jumanji or something like that to me, like a bad Robin Williams movie. But so my Mounjaro now is 5 milligram shot once a week, and that threw me off. And I didn't realize it was throwing me off, but it threw me off. It gave me this vague nausea, which made me irritated, and so the increased dosage has had a side effect, and the side effect is certainly that my blood sugar is harder to spike and much easier to dip. So, we're driving out to yesterday. We drove out to New Jersey, Red Bank. Got that right. I was going to say
Yes.
Red Hook, Red River, but Red Bank, New Jersey, and a ride that took us less than an hour and a half to come back this morning took us nearly 3 hours to get down there. I could have driven to the fucking Poconos in traffic.
Yeah, it's true.
So, and my blood sugar was going off because why wouldn't it? Because it was going low. So,
We keep a stash of emergency sugar treats
candies.
to address low blood sugar because it's a life-threatening emergency. The person can lose, like, their functioning. They can go unconscious.
Yes.
So yeah, it's something that you kind of need to address when the monitor tells you that
it's going down.
It's dipping.
Right.
Dangerously low.
And it tells you when you go below 70, going below
Mhm.
50 to low 40s is where you're like, danger, Will Robinson, danger, Will Robinson.
Mhm.
I've only had that happen once. But,
so we had stuff in the
lesson learned.
glove compartment.
Yeah. Gummy bears or gummy from the trolley gummies
they
or
were gummy
Haribo.
Haribo.
Haribo gummies. Probably not a great thing to leave in your glove compartment over the summertime, because then what you get is a big hockey puck of gummies.
It's a gummy mass.
It's a gummy mass. You're like driving, and
I was terrified to take it out of the packaging because I was like, this is gonna be really sticky.
It wasn't that sticky.
It's gonna make a mess.
It was,
and it wasn't sticky. It had congealed back to
a hockey puck,
solid form, and not
a hockey puck.
Sticky, but
it
took on the shape of the packaging.
It looked
flat.
It looked like
weird and
if
tie-dyed almost.
If they made gummy puke, that's what you were looking at. It's like, oh look, it's fake puke made out of gummies. So so I had to grab that. Fine. Get to the hotel, check in. Beautiful hotel, nice old beautiful hotel. And we had dinner, and I was like, well, look at my blood sugar's hovering around 70. I'll have the breadsticks. Sure, I'll have the chicken pot pie, because all of this. Oh, all right. So Don, you want to know what you want to know what's in the glass? It's totally non-alcoholic.
It's fruit punch.
Yeah, it's one of those squeeze things.
What do they call it? Straw.
Sure.
Stir.
STUR. You get it on Amazon. I think you can see it in the supermarkets too. So this is the fruit punch. Will I have wine later? Slightly, but not yet. So
I did my drinking last night.
Well, and here's the thing: we get back. We went to a comedy show. It was very good. It was. And by the way, this was kind of like our anniversary weekend. A month later. Now, why did we not get away for our anniversary? Life happens. Those that have been following this channel know that life's been happening. Right now, some parts of life have been extremely fucking entertaining. And I got to say that Rach and I will probably be going away after we get our tire fixed to the Poconos, whether it's this week or the week after.
I have an appointment on the 12th.
All right. Well,
primary care.
We'll make it work around your appointment, Rach. But these are,
I'm sure we go and get back by then.
Yeah, we're gonna get away for a little bit because we want to and we can. But yesterday was like celebrating our 11th anniversary. It was also celebrating. I don't know a great email I got when I was at the venue, or walking to the venue. The venue was literally 7-minute walk from our hotel.
Yeah, it was a beautiful old theater where the comedy show took place, and really nice.
So, and I made an observation yesterday with last night's video, is that doing live stand-up is very much like being a DM, and the idea that,
well, I guess it's your responsibility to sort of keep it to entertain.
You have to entertain, and if you don't use those muscles, if you don't reinforce
Just like running
your abilities.
groups of any type, whether
Yeah.
they're psychotherapy groups or, gaming groups. There's a way that you deal with people and, you know,
So I'm,
finding your way with it.
I mean, I could, there, and I could see, all right, like the headliner, his prepared material, which he does online, is spot on, awesome. Work in the crowd, he is out of practice, and
But
you
he
can
shies
tell.
away, I guess, a little bit maybe from the improv.
Yeah. So
It's
I
not as flowy
right.
and
So, but you can tell, I don't know, the non-headline. There were four comedians, number three, and they always pump it. It's always better, better, better. I really think that the third comedian to come out, he does stand up on a weekly basis,
yes.
pretty much.
Yes.
He really, it flows smooth. It is, and then you can tell it. You can tell it with your DM. Like when I get back to DMing, I plan to get back to DMing, come this January, and I'm not quite sure how I'm going to get the group together. We're going to see how it goes about, but um, I know that my first 2 or 3 sessions are going to not necessarily be rough, but I'm gonna have self-doubt. All right, you get stage fright when you don't do some of these things frequently, especially if it's not something that is totally natural to you. So I'm gonna have to get past that. And
Right. And a lot of times we'll like just spend so much time preparing.
yep.
Like, okay, the content needs to be like this, and we need to cover this, that, and the other. And then like your group might not be ready to go there. So, you want to make sure that you also take into account where the group wants to go to.
Yeah. So it's gonna be interesting. We had a great time, but we got
Mhm.
back from the theater back to the hotel, and my blood sugar was down to like, I don't know, mid-70s. So I was like, oh, all right,
We
well,
can go down and have a couple of beers at the
beers,
bar.
and I can drink real beer. I don't have to go and I'm gonna have a light beer because I'm gonna watch my car. I'm like, fuck that, I'm having real beer. Well, guess what? The real beer hardly had an effect on my blood sugar. I wasn't drinking beer fast enough to have an effect on my blood sugar, which I found to be very interesting. So, what happened then is, as we left the bar, I was like, well, my blood sugar is like in the 80s. I'm like, there's no way I'm going to get through the night at this rate.
No, we had to bring in stuff from the car.
So we went out to the car, and we brought the hockey puck of gummy puke, and some hard candies. And before going to sleep, I ate some of the gummies. And here's something that I forgot, and this is my fault. I got a new bag, by the way. I love this bag. One day I'll have to show it on here. It was Kickstarter, but man, it is awesome. So
And they're still selling it.
I'm sure they're still selling it. So here's the thing. Unlike my other, like my
So
regular
nice and
backpack,
light.
my regular backpack, which always has like the sort of crap from like 10 trips behind, I didn't have any Alka-Seltzer. I didn't have any Tums. I didn't have anything for an upset stomach. Now, why is that important? Well,
That's a
it's
side effect of his
it's a side effect
Manjaro.
of my Manjaro. Is I often get acid reflux or sour stomach, and it hit around 6:30 this morning when I was lying down, where to the point where it would come up, and I'd wake up, and then it would clear it, and I'd get it out of my throat, and I'd start falling back asleep, and it would come up. So then I actually got to the
That
point.
is a scary feeling because you think you're gonna like aspirate and
Yeah.
it's so nasty.
And then I thought I was going to throw up. So I started getting nauseous on top of that. And I felt better once. I was sitting up for a bit. And then Rach, God bless my wonderful wife, she went out to the car, and because I did have Tums in the car, which is, it's considered halfway smart. At least I had some within range.
Yeah.
But, it, and once I had like 3 or 4, and then I was like, oh, okay, you can feel right away. You start getting gaseous because the Mounjaro has side effects. Now, compared to the side effects of, was it the metformin?
Metformin, yeah.
The metformin side effects were pretty much, I had to keep a toilet nearby because it was likely that I was going to be having emergency situations. So when you take me to trip, you're like, all right, how much Imodium am I going to have to pop before I can even
Yeah.
consider doing this? I can handle, like, even right now, if I shut up and stop talking and don't allow any distractions, I'm going to feel a little nausea. And I understand that. So that's why I like to keep myself in motion and keep myself busy. Then I don't even notice it. But I was, you couldn't help but notice it when you're having all this heartburn come up. It just added to it. So I've got to set this bag up ahead of time to have certain necessities. Just so if you're, I'm going to go away for a weekend. All right, well, I already have my emergency sugar implements,
Yeah.
menthols or whatever it's going to wind up being. And I already have my Tums and my Pepto Bismol pills or whatever. And that's something that I overlooked. Okay. I mean, and I like to consider myself somebody who does a pretty good job prepping. I made sure I had all my medications packed and all that
Mm-hmm.
crap. And I forget the very basics. Now, thankfully, the very basics were at least in the car. We were able to. But I mean, when I went out to the car the first time, I just said, "Oh, and let's get the Tums too." But
Hindsight is always 2020.
yeah,
Several beers in. I mean,
whenever I feel like that, I just drink lots of water. Shadow. I would.
mm,
I can. I can drink some water, and actually, here's the other thing. Remember, I have
CHF.
congestive heart failure.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the things that congestive heart failure can lead to is water retention. Now, if you have severe, I guess I would say active congestive heart failure, you're restricted to, like, I don't know, liter and a half, maybe 2 liters, 2 quarts of water a day,
Wow.
and that includes all sources. So if you're eating fruit, you're getting water. So I mean, when I first was being treated for congestive heart failure, I would see these signs everywhere in the office. And you start going, "Oh my god!" And I'm somebody who's always enjoyed a 32-ounce cup of ice water. Oh my god, I'd be happy as a pig in shit. Um, but you see that, and then all right, I had my congestive heart failure, and I was like, "Doc, what can I? How should I be looking at my uh, like my fluid intake?"
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, and this is my heart failure specialist. He was like, initially he was like, you know what, and it was like high for 2 quarts, maybe 2.5 quarts.
Quarts, not liter.
Well, pretty much the same thing.
Oh, I don't know.
A quart is 32 ounces, a liter is 33.1 or something like that.
Oh.
So they're pretty much in the same ballpark. So I would literally spend and I still do subconsciously, but I would spend my day not having a large glass like this. I would have the 16-ounce glass, and I'd be like, all right, I can have 5 16-ounce glasses. So you're like, oh my god, I've already had 4, and it's only like 6 p.m. I can only have one for the rest of the night. And you're like,
No.
so then, when I got put onto Jardiance, now it is on Farxiga, but Jardiance. One of the things with Jardiance that you have to do is you have to drink enough water to keep your pee clear. Why is that? Because with medications like Jardiance and Farxiga, you are peeing. It causes you to pee out glucose. It causes you to pee out the sugars that would be in your blood. And if you don't clear it from your you can get infections because yeast, even in a man,
Feeds on the sugar.
feeds on the sugar.
Mm-hmm.
And a urinary tract infection is not so pleasant. Or a wee wee infection is certainly probably even less pleasant.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, okay, and this is like a one of those contradictions. It's like, what do I do? So then I spoke with uh, my heart failure specialist, and I was like, he's like, oh great, you're on Jardiance. I'm like, oh yeah, I saw that. Jardiance helps protect the heart. He goes, yeah, why do you want something like that? I'm glad they're taking you, off the insulin and putting you on Jardiance. He was happy, and He goes, I go, but I have to pee clear now because I go, I have a limit of like 2.5 quarts of fluid. He goes, oh yeah, we can increase that. I go, to what? He goes, 3.5. So now my mind's doing the math, and that's basically 100
Aw.
ounces, 110 ounces. And he's like, I don't think I could drink more than 3 quarts of water in a day anyway, of any kind of fluid. I'm thinking to myself, man, there were days in the summertime where I would literally drink a gallon of water by dinner time because I don't sweat as much as I used to either now with my headache,
Right.
but that's just how my body would process it. So um, now I keep a soft count in my head. I mean, before it was a hard count, every glass got count. Now I just look back in the day and go, where am I? Like today, I had uh, okay, I had very little water with breakfast. I had uh, 2 things of tea, so probably about 20 ounces of tea, 20-ounce soda, probably from McDonald's. So about 40 ounces so far. Plus this is a 22-ounce glass. So when that's done, I'm at 66. I got at least a whole quart left. So the ways you have to look at it and think about it.
Yep.
Now, my sinuses are still screwed up.
Sorry.
I apologize for coughing right into the mic. Thank God you can't get my joints to it. I could wear a mask. So now we're doing Christmas prep.
Mm-hmm.
Again, the Christmas tree is up. Rach did a great job setting it up. We're gonna over the next couple of days start putting lights out in front of the house.
Yes.
Because it isn't just for decoration; it is for you, your family. It lifts the heart.
Yeah.
It makes you look at the lights and feel something special. I mean, we noticed like lights in New Jersey last night.
Yeah. On those terraces.
Yeah, you're like, oh my God, some of the stuff is spot on.
Mm-hmm.
So it's pretty darn cool. I enjoy the holidays.
We love there's certain neighborhoods here where they decorate heavily, like it's like Christmas vacation to the max. You might have heard of neighborhoods like Dyker Heights, and then like Howard Beach. These neighborhoods just decorate so crazy, and we love to take the rides through these neighborhoods to take a look at the lights and just enjoy.
Yeah. I mean, our neighborhood will have some decent houses, but nothing like these places.
Yeah.
And we don't do lights like that. We just
No.
put up a few to make ourselves look happy and go, we did something. And our house isn't it's like, hey, look, our house is one of the 3 houses lit up on our block. Thank God we're one of the 3. I'd hate to be like one of the others.
Yeah,
7 or 8.
sitting it out.
You don't want to do that. So, and oh gee, what else? We've been Rach has been baking frequently now. We got to do some baking this weekend.
Yeah, I'll do tomorrow. I think we have cookie mix.
Okay.
Chocolate chip cookies.
Sounds like a plan. Mm-hmm. When we bake low carb.
Yeah.
It's generally almond flour.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. Rach, you're suffering from what I'm suffering from. Like today, when we came back, again, last night.
It wasn't the
the bed was comfortable.
The bed was really nice. The covers, everything was really nice. Just, we came back in there like around 2, and then oh my God, the heat was kicking in that place. And I'm a cold person in general, so I'll say, oh, we need more heat. We need more heat. Oh my God, it's so cold in here. I said, Eric, can you do something about the heat?
I'm like,
I was like, it's too hot. My lips are so dry.
It's like I can't
can't deal with this heat anymore.
I can't believe it's not butter.
Yeah, it must have shocked you.
It was. I was like, Turn down the heat. All right, that's 70 supposedly, but okay.
Yeah,
I'll turn
70
it down.
made like an 80 in there.
So we turned down the heat. But again, we woke up around
Mhm.
6:30 with me and my
Yeah,
and
grab the thing
yeah,
and come back.
and um, and it's funny because here's the thing: like when I had my congestive heart failure, I couldn't lay down in bed. I couldn't. When you lay down,
Right, he needed to be sitting
I
up.
needed to be sitting up to be able to sleep. Otherwise, my lungs would get a little fluid in them, and it'd be very uncomfortable. You'd be Now I'm lying down and I'm getting a heartburn and acid reflux. So I got to remember to take things for it before it's like I should be taking like 3 Tums before I go to sleep just to prevent it, just to deal with it ahead of time, just to get ahead of the curve. But
Do you think the Tums are the best, or do you think this thing that I have
I don't
over
know.
here
We'll
is best?
experiment. You know,
I feel like those are very effective because you chew it longer, and I guess it has more time to.
you don't like Tums, Rach, because they taste chalky.
That's true too.
I don't have a problem with Tums tasting chalky.
Yeah, you can have it, Tom.
I know. I'm just saying. You know. You know.
No, these things they're like berry flavored and they look like Mentos. So
Yeah, no, they taste like candies.
yeah.
I'll take 17, please.
No,
But no, I know.
I don't get it off as often as I used to. Thank God.
No.
Yeah.
Well, that's because you don't drink as often as you used to. I'm surprised your stomach.
That's it.
You had those apple cider martinis.
Margarita. It was
Margaritas.
tequila in it.
I don't. We both had 2 drinks at dinner.
Which I don't usually take a drink with dinner.
But I had two wanted to control the blood sugar, so I had 2 Miller Lights. Shadow wants to go. These are chewy Tums, right? Are they Tums? Those are maybe the Tums or Alka-Seltzer brand. I'm not sure which
I'm
one.
not quite sure.
But they are they're effective. I mean, and they have different. They have also they were actually maybe the Alka-Seltzer ones are the ones that came
Uncle
wrapped.
Seltzer's blue?
No, they were the ones that were wrapped like a square piece of gum that you chewed. Remember those? You had to unwrap.
No.
Yeah, those were So, but we've taken. Where does Rach risk the possibility of possibly drinking to excess when she goes away? So really, she should be packing this stuff in her bags, because at the bar she had another 4 of these margaritas. That being said, I think I had 5 beers at the bar. I was only charged for 3, so
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Yeah, Shadow says I only have that problem if I eat the wrong sugary foods. I see. My problem is now. TXG, welcome. My problem when it comes to getting the heartburn or the acid reflux, literally, is with the Mounjaro. I don't know if I don't think your stomach actually shrinks, but your stomach's ability to take in food lessens. So you got to eat smaller meals, or else you get sick. Like this morning, because we didn't want to experience a low blood sugar incident. Initially, I was like, "Oh, I'll get an omelet for breakfast at the restaurant here." And the omelets looked they were pretty good. You had pretty good choices. But then I went, "Oh no," because all I need is to have to be chewing on that hockey puck of gummies for the ride home, which, by the way, took half the time that Friday did. Jesus, but I had waffles with actual real maple syrup, and they were delicious. And on the ride home, we got the high blood sugar warning, which was fine. I'd rather get that than a low blood sugar one. And then, after I came home and took my nap, I had the low blood sugar. Was it Tower Games? I am lucky that I do not have issues with foods causing me issues like heartburn. Knock on wood. Honestly, I didn't have much of an issue with foods giving me heartburn until I did chemo. And one of the side effects of chemo was actually frequent cases of heartburn and acid reflux. So I was actually put on
The Prilosec.
Prilosec at the time. I think Prilosec will take like 2 weeks. I was on it for like 6
Yeah.
months.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, get more, because and did it eliminate it? No, but it certainly lessened it. So I probably got to do something similar now, and maybe it'll balance it out.
And Prilosec is over the counter now.
Prilosec OTC.
You know me.
I'm down with OTC. Yeah, you know me. All right. So what else? I'm trying to think here. I know there's more stuff, Rach. God.
I'm not sure.
Well, again, this week has been.
I think a lot of the grief and loss stuff kind of took up.
Yeah,
a lot. So.
Because honestly, when it comes to grief and loss, unlike certain other things, like you can decide, hey, I'm gonna start my diet today, and I know I'm gonna be hungry, but I'm gonna start exercising. I'm gonna work through it, and I'm in that mental state, and I'm ready for it. Loss, you don't really have control of when that happens, right?
Right, and it might help you feel better to move. Especially if sitting in the chairs all day.
Yeah, well, when you sit in the chair all day, what are you doing? You're just
dwelling
on stuff.
You're dwelling. You're not moving. So, like that night, I came home and did a workout on the treadmill, and it helped me feel better.
So, I mean, I have learned that my ability to, I don't know, put aside emotions and other reactions in a state of grief, which I was very skilled at when I was working, because it was part of my, I guess you could say, my work skills. Because, by the way, hold on a second here. Rach needs to play with my balls. Here, Rachie. My balls are always bouncing to the left and to the right. AC/DC. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But if you have rainbow balls, they're probably magnetic. But I'm sorry, the joke, folks. I am not a comedian. I don't do this for a living, so just bear with me. Mm-hmm. But
don't hold it against us.
Yes, I find that the skill set that I had when I was working, that skill set was a matter of survival to get through.
Yeah, this is nice.
To get through the day. I don't have those. I can still force it. It doesn't come easy, and I did find myself getting hit with the emotions of the day and allowing it to happen. Mm-hmm.
And that's okay. You're supposed to.
I was like,
feel stuff.
I was like, is Rachel playing footsies with me?
No,
it's my kitty down by my feet.
Oh, Sadie.
She hid when the kids came over.
Oh my god!
I hear a child's voice. I do not.
Well, she was so happy to see us when we got here.
Yeah, that's meow,
meow.
Yeah.
And then the kids come. See you later.
See you later. Bye.
I'll be under here.
Yeah, Don.
Right, Sadie? Yeah.
I found with the loss of my daughter that was important to keep mentally busy and physically busy.
Yeah.
Rado and Son, if I have rainbow balls, I'm going to the doctor or buy a looser boxers. Yes, Shadow. I do find that these little magnetic balls that you can play, these are great stress relief. I didn't like those little poppets, those little fidget things. The fidget things didn't do much for me, but these little magnetic balls. Hi, Sadie. Yeah. You're gonna get your head up here on the screen. You're gonna say hello.
Yeah, you're gonna do it. Yeah,
you're just out of reach, young lady. You're just out of reach.
You're so pretty.
Yeah, our cat. She suffered a little bit from separation anxiety when we were on around, but she handled a single night much better than she does when we go away for like 5 days to the Poconos.
Yes,
and she gets company when we're in the Poconos. She's not left alone. She gets company, but
right, your grandma comes.
She has her two favorite people,
and
that happens to be us. But
it's such a sweetheart.
Yeah. Now she does. Thankfully, she has no interest in the treadmill. I would get nervous if she did,
Me too.
because I just saw it. I just saw what it did to a small Pallades ball. Meow. It's like,
Pop.
oh, fuck.
We don't want
That, you
that.
know what? I think,
We love you too much for Pop.
yeah,
No,
no,
no.
no, you don't. You can't do that, Sadie. Stay away from the treadmill. Stay away from the treadmill, young
Yeah.
lady. So now,
You're curious what I have in my hands? This is it. Magnetic balls. Hmm.
magnetic balls. So if your balls are colorful, they're probably magnetic. Okay, Shadow. Just so you're saying, if you have them and they look something like this, then they're probably not the standard uh, issued at birth type of balls that you're thinking
Yeah.
of. But again, I'm already thinking of, and I don't do New Year's resolutions, folks. And the reason why I don't do New Year's resolutions is because New Year's resolutions are made to fail. My personal opinion. You do a New Year's resolution, and it's always like, oh, I could do this, and you can't do
Right, where this year, like, you want to be more focused on
that.
certain aspects
Right.
of
They're
your
aspirational.
betterment.
It's
Yeah.
like, for my New Year's goal, I want to lose 50 pounds. Go fuck yourself. You're not losing 50 pounds, okay?
No, you do it gradually.
Right, but
And then you maintain.
right.
Then you can start over. Because I was reading too that if you lose some weight, then you know
You plateau.
it's okay to be there, but as long as you maintain it,
Right.
and then you know after you've maintained it for like several months, then
You
start again.
really, it's like a reboot.
A little bit, yeah. But you do have to be careful with the maintenance
Uh-huh.
because you have to watch for creeping weight that you know can come back to you. So it's not like, oh, we can eat McDonald's and whatever every night again.
No, no,
It's
no, no, no.
no.
Just eat McDonald's on the nights where you're like, what are we eating? I don't know. I don't feel like cooking. Hey, look, my blood sugar is at 62. Let's eat shit. By the way, this jingling in the background are Viter Energy Mints. I, I'm not sponsored by them, but my God, some people drink a lot of coffee. Two of these is equal to like one standard cup of coffee when it comes to caffeine, and I feel they calm my stomach down because they have, I guess, real peppermint oil, and the caffeine doesn't hurt either. So just throwing it out there. But oh wait, I was talking about something, Rach, and then New Year's resolutions.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, and we were talking about like set points for, you know, how to really like deal with metabolism and stuff.
Well, yeah, but
Yeah.
that was off the New Year's resolution, and I don't do New Year's resolutions. But I do have things that I want to accomplish in the new year. And I kind of hinted at that yesterday, and I've already had people message me, which is awesome. It's like, oh, you're going to start running a game again in 2023. Yes, I am. I have to. I enjoy doing it, and I will be honest with everybody who's watching this. I do get stage fright before every session, whether it's in person or online, because you always get that worry of I'm going to fall on my face, I'm going to sound like an ass, it's not going to go well, they're not going to have fun, and then everybody has fun. Then you go, oh, okay, I did okay then. So I want to get back into doing it. Will it necessarily be a weekly game? I don't know yet. And the reason why I say I don't know is, as I explained, we have this weekly hour to hour and a half long live stream on Saturday. We have a 2 hour long live stream on Wednesday nights. We have a live stream that lasts anywhere from an hour and a half with me and Glenn to 2.5 hours sometimes with the random generated party. And then I do a 2 hour hangout on the Discord server on Thursdays. So I'm thinking that I have my block in the beginning of the week, but I kind of like having a block in the beginning of the week, which is relaxing evenings before I, what do you want to call it, have to work. But I'm thinking of maybe first Thursday of the month, running instead of doing the Discord, I would do a session online using Roll20. But I'll have to figure out exactly how it's going to work. It might wind up being that we'll do it Monday nights. Can't do it Tuesday nights because I my night to go out with me and Rach. So now, by the way, I'm looking at something, and I think this is an important part of our first discussion. So the treadmill has a safety feature.
Oh yeah,
And the safety feature
that's
is
important.
is
The
this.
key.
This is the key that slaps onto the panel in front that controls the speed and all that stuff. And this is a clip, and the clip gets clipped onto you, and it's a tight clip. So really, it's not going to pull off your shirt. It's going to pull off this. And it's such a tight clip that I can guarantee you, Ray, I can't. Well, maybe if I use my full, I can't. I have no ability to
I
do
never
it.
tried that.
Yeah, I have no ability to. It's a tight clip. I have.
It has to be.
Yeah, I have no gripping with this hand. I got my muscle is atrophied here pretty badly between my thumb and my forefinger. So this is so if you happen to I don't know, start falling off the fucking treadmill because you have it going too fast. Like my father trying to show off to everybody, like show off to me and my wife. Right. When we had the treadmill that first night, and he's like, "Oh, make it fast, make it fast," and then he started listening to our conversation and not paying attention and stretching out. And he wasn't wearing this. I was like, I hit the stop button, and I was like, "All right, you're wearing this next time." Because the last thing you want to do is go flying off this thing.
Yeah.
Uh,
And the girls didn't want to wear it.
they did not. Why are you going to wear this one? What am I going to be supervised for? Because it's not a toy.
Yeah.
Okay.
And your judgment is still to God.
Yes. So
sorry to inform, but
so now
it's true.
The treadmill is in the room right behind us on the other side of that built-in hutch. And Rach had the brilliant idea, and I say it was brilliant because it was fucking brilliant. Right before we came onto this, because the girls, like literally minutes before, had blown up the Pallades ball in the treadmill thing. Thank God. And Rachel's like, you know what? Why don't we just take the emergency key? And I went, they wouldn't go on the treadmill without supervision while we were on a live stream. And I thought
they would, and they would do so gleefully, saying, "They're really gonna get up and come make us stop."
And I was thinking to myself, the classic Bugs Bunny, you might, Rabbit, you might. But I turned on the gas and my friend Muggsy was in the oven. You might, Rabbit, you might. Would I do a bloody match and my friend Muggsy said, all right, Rabbit, you have convinced me. I'll look for Muggsy in the city. I went, oh shit. You know what? Yes, take the fucking key. I'm really, and now I realize why these treadmills have these keys.
Yeah.
And it is likely not just the emergency, but the keep the youngins from, you know, throwing a guinea pig onto it. What's the guinea pig?
Oh.
We don't have.
Well, Shannon was like, I wonder if Donka would run out. I was like, no, she'd run very far off it and want to find the food in the kitchen.
Yeah, it would not stay. She'd be like, this isn't fun. I don't.
No, she'd be terrified of the motor.
Yeah,
or bark at it.
On top of that, see, like Donka likes going for walks for the smells.
Yes,
and meeting people.
Walking sucks now.
Yeah,
you people have ruined it for me.
Walking without smells and people. What the fuck is this shit?
Mm-hmm.
I don't want this crap.
Right, Sadie, it's true. You know your sister well enough.
It's not like Sadie would be like, hey, let me go onto the treadmill myself. You know,
she sat on it once.
Well, yeah, she sat on it when it wasn't going.
Right.
She's like, oh, look at this, a nice long mat. I can handle this, and it's kind of.
Well, she's always like going on the yoga mats, and then she'll like.
Yeah. She'll stretch out those claws. So, again, great safety feature for your treadmill, but on top of that, a great way to shut the kids down when you're not around. Again, I defer to my wife who had that idea because I was like, I didn't think of that, son of a bitch. I can't believe it. Wow. Now, of course, I had to be the one when they blew up the Pallades ball. I was like, "All right, that's it. Everybody goes."
Well, they were kind of stunned by that. They're like, because they were stunned by the whole pop.
Like, is that just?
And they were just like,
You're done. You're out of here.
and then when I started saying, everybody out, everybody out.
Spot's closed.
Spot's closed.
And of course,
they're like, oh, okay.
and if you don't know the New York City drug scene from 20, 25 years ago, spot being closed means yo, Popo was here. Popo closed the spot. All right, there ain't no more marijuana.
Oh, board it up.
Yep. Yo, gotta find another spot. This spot closed. But why? Because Popo was here, taking care of business. So, and before that,
TCB.
you know, I had told Shannon because she was seeing how far she could push Uncle. I was like, hey,
It's the age, which is why I said, let's get the key.
Yeah. And I was just like, Shannon, you don't want to turn Uncle into Mr. Police Officer. And I think
not in front of your friends.
Yeah, not in front of your friends.
No.
You know, you could do it in front of your family because you'd all probably find it to be a nice joke. But when I turn into the voice of God, and I didn't do voice of God, she was very lucky, and that's partially because we actually allowed the Pallades Bowl to go
right.
on the
We
trip.
played a part in it.
Yeah, it wasn't just like, all right, you dumb kids, what are you doing? It's like, oh, you dumb adults, what you letting them do?
Yes.
You gotta take some responsibility.
Yeah.
And in this case,
shit happens, man.
Shit talking.
Sometimes you lose a Pilates ball.
From Five Below. Which was probably not Five Below when you bought it at Five Below, but 10 Below.
5 Below?
It was going to be 10 Below, didn't? Because the prices are going up.
Oh, well,
okay, a $1 tree is $1.25, but it's not $1.
No,
it'll be
$1.25 tree.
$1.50 tree.
$1.50 tree.
Wait, $1.53? No, $1.50 tree. Sorry again. Flashing back to my early career. So, I think we've covered. We still kind of haven't. Yeah, I covered the gaming part.
Mm-hmm.
I also need to get more focused on creativity. Get the Swords and Wizardry. Continual Light, no longer Swords and Wizardry in the title. Out to Jeff with the corrections. I need to start planning on the next Torchlight. There have been a lot of distractions in 2022.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them newsworthy, some of them not. Some of them personal, some of them not. Thankfully, nothing as distracting as 2020 was. 2020 was a reboot.
Yeah, that's true.
I want 2022 to be the instigator of a smaller reboot in 2023, just where I get more focused. Focusing, by the way, for those who don't know, it's something that my focus has suffered a lot since I had chemo. 15 years ago?
Mm-hmm.
16 years ago. It's been a long time. Before chemo, I could read at least a book a week, a novel, fantasy fiction, nonfiction, maybe two. In the summertime, when I was off from school, like I was in college and I was just working a regular job, I could read 3 or 4 books in a week. I could read a book in a day if I was off and just focused on it. I don't read 2 books a year now, honestly. So, but I'm more creative. And what I got to do is put a little bit more focus on the creativity, be more focused on being creative. So that's like a preview of 2023. Did you close all your cycles?
Not yet.
All right.
I closed 2. 16 stands. I closed my move, but I need to close the exercise.
Exercise. So, I guess on that note, we have hit the 1 hour plus mark. I really do appreciate everybody in the live stream. Your comments and questions were good, and they really do help us. And I really do appreciate the support. A lot of people reached out about Carl, our cousin,
Yeah.
and Carl was the first one in the family to see that Rach and I were going to be married.
Yeah. He couldn't have been too out of it then to be like,
No,
oh,
you know,
this is where this is going.
tell your husband. And Rach was like, okay. I don't know.
Will do.
Were we even engaged at that point? I don't even think
No.
we weren't even engaged. He
No.
knew. He knew.
He absolutely knew.
Shadow, I'm getting ready to run a live game in 2023 after a year-long breaks. I know what you mean.
Oh, that's exciting.
Just practice some of your dialogue and make it a game you want to be a player in,
Yeah.
and you will do just fine. I think I did pretty well at ShireCon, but I, you know what? Some people like running sandboxes. Some people like running episodic. I like running.
What's sandbox?
Sandbox is your players. You give your players like different leads, and then they follow on one. They have the freedom to go where they want, and they drive that. And then you, the DM, have
Sandbox means that the
freedom of choice.
facilitator gives options.
Right, a lot of options, and the players then you kind of have to you're running after your players sometimes if you aren't properly prepped. Episodic is kind of like all right, maybe a bad example, but let's say it's like an episode of Friends where the characters.
Oh, it's already pretty much predetermined.
Well, no, it's not predetermined, but what happens this week in this adventure doesn't really affect next adventure. Everything happens on its own. Then you wrap up, and you can do.
So it's not. It's episodic versus campaign.
Well, episodic can be in a campaign. There's a different campaign is the overall arc. An episodic campaign, you can have a campaign that's episodic, but it's again they like in between sessions, like what you finish here, and then your next session your DM has you up here, and we just kind of like we'll just fill in the blanks as to how you get up there. We'll just hand wave it as they call it.
Oh, okay.
So railroads kind of says, oh, it's predetermined. So now a railroad pretty much means it's on tracks. So a railroad usually means you're going to start here, and pretty much no matter what you do, you're going to end up here. Now, sometimes railroads will have branches, but everything feeds onto the same spot, the same conclusion.
Oh, I see. Okay.
So no matter what actions the player does or the players do,
railroads are generally in a convention.
Convention games can be more railroady. You don't want them to be a sandbox because you don't have enough time.
Yeah.
So they have to be a bit more focused. So I like episodic kind of means to me at least, is I can run something that is going to play out over maybe 2, 3, or 4 sessions as like a story arc, and then that wraps up. And then we're going to fast forward. We're going to fast forward 2 months, and now you guys are here. We kind of hand wave what gets you from here to there.
Oh, I see.
I personally
find you want to show them different.
Yeah, I can have a small. I can overlap a sandbox in that episodic if I wanted to. My strength and my weakness is that I like to improv, and I do. I do a great job improving. My failure is I do a horrible job. I'm gonna say, bar none, horrible job in documenting my improvisation. Not good when your players remember better things better than you. So, TXG, I wanted to get my 5e players onto DCC. We'll see how that goes. Now, DCC is a system that's pretty much based upon episodic play. They play through the adventure. The adventures are very complete. They've got this great story, and then
it's different dice.
Well, it's the same dice and more so. Do you have your regular D&D dice? Plus,
it's a bigger set, right?
Yep. Yeah. So, what I actually want to do is I want to use Continual Light, but I want to use some options from Hyperborea. I want to take my Continual Light and make it more Conan-esque, and probably run a bunch of Jeff's material that Jeff has published, in his adventures and use it
Oh,
with continual
cool.
light. So I'm thinking that's what I want to do. Yeah, campaigns like a season or entire run of a TV show.
Yeah.
And that would be the case for like NYPD Blues, Hill Street Blues,
A continuing
a
drama.
continuing drama. Whereas, usually with most of your sitcoms, what happened in a previous week, you can watch them out of order; it doesn't make a difference.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why
That's
I say
true. It's not based one on the other.
right. But you can put episodics into a campaign, but you kind of usually have to hand wave in between.
Ah.
Yeah, Chad, my game's like going to Disneyland. You can go on whatever ride you want, but
Wow.
once on, it's a railroad. Fair enough. You know that can work too. I just hate campaigns that are really like, in the end, this is where you're going to be. No. But honestly, when I plan this one out, I'm gonna have to plan it out to hit 7th level, because to me, besides the fact that continual light ends at 7th level, obviously I can go beyond that. Oh, excuse me, but I want to keep it where before the power curve goes a bit wonky in my eyes. So that's the current game plan. We'll see. All plans are a great plan until they encounter the enemy, until they encounter reality, right? So we'll see how this goes. But December's. Do we have any more doctor's appointments in December? No.
No, I just
You have the one coming up.
Care.
Yeah, one coming up. No more doctor's appointments this month. No major events whatsoever, except for Christmas, of course, and New Year's. But hey. So, folks, again, thank you so much for hanging out with us, so much for giving us feedback, so much for being you. By the way, the Gamers Health newsletter, we're going to, that and the Tenkar's Tavern.
We'll probably put a little bit of the cooking in there, like a little baking.
So
that we're going to do tomorrow. Oh, we should have done the pizza. We can make a pizza for football tomorrow too.
Okay.
And show them what the mix is, show them what we do.
Yeah.
With the toppings and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. We can make that work. We can
do
make
a
it work.
Stop and shop run before the football starts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, folks. On that note, we're still in the midst of the endemic. It ain't going away. So use your common sense. I mean, I've been accused of being anti-vax and anti-mask, and I'm vaxxed and boosted, and no, I don't complain when all my doctors' offices have us and them wearing a mask. Even though my last doctor wore his mask as a chin doctor, chin doctor. Wow. Hi, I'm a doctor who specializes in chins, and you need to shave. I don't know. I got a glass chin. But, folks, thank you very much. Be safe, be well. God bless. Roll those dice, roll them well.
And take good care.
I will be back again tomorrow with some, random insight. If I have any insight. News, who knows? I'll have something. All right, folks. Oh, and the newsletter should come out tomorrow through a hiatus over the last week. All right.
Be well.
Laters.